Good morning, everybody. As Nancy said, I'm Sean Torinas, Serigraph CEO. I'd like to just thank you all for joining us here today to celebrate the signing of Serigraph's Green Tier 2 contract. I'd also like to echo all of Nancy's welcome to our elected officials and all our other guests here today, as well as a big group of Serigraph employees, and we're really glad you could all make it. As we look around here today, one thing's obvious. We couldn't have asked for a much better day. What a beautiful summer day in Wisconsin, right? And you know, we have customers all around the world, so I travel a lot of business. Last week I was in Korea and Taiwan. I go to China and India all the time. And I'll tell you, last week in Taiwan and Korea, and it always happens in China and India, we spent a whole week. We never had a day like this. We spent a whole week, we never saw the sun. You have a constant gray haze of pollution there. And when I look around and see a beautiful day like this, with the beautiful green grass, the sun shining, the beautiful fresh air, it really drives home the importance of why we're doing this. When I look at those gray, hazy days that I see in China, Korea, Taiwan, India, that's not the life I want. That's not the world I want. I don't want it for me and I don't want it for my kids. This is what we're fighting for when we do this together. So all of those places, right, are seeing staggering growth around their manufacturing sectors. But it comes with a staggering price. They're destroying both their environment and the quality of life for their people. We have to find a better way. We have to strike a balance. What really excites me about Green Tier 2, and the reason we're so excited about moving forward with this progress, is it's a philosophy of a collaborative approach between regulation and business. It doesn't have to be either or. It gets rid of the old antagonistic model that said, to protect the environment, we must slow down economic growth and job creation. We've never believed that was true. So, what we're looking for here is the hard work that it takes to strike a win-win balance between economic growth and protecting the environment. And it doesn't have to be either or. So for example, what we've done at Serigraph is we've voluntarily adopted much more stringent targets than current regulations call for. We've hit them. In the case of Serigraph, we reduced our VOC emissions. VOCs are the volatile organic compounds that cause ozone, from 127 tons in 2000. And again, we thought we were a pretty clean company in 2000, but 127 tons in 2000, down to 18 tons this year. Just a staggering change. Going forward, as part of the Green Tier 2 contract, we've signed up for an additional 5% reduction every year going forward. In return, we're no longer going to have to go machine by machine to apply for environmental permits. And we get a little bit of a reduction in the requirements for record keeping for solvents. All things that sound little but make a huge difference, staying competitive. Incidentally, in 62 years of business, under the old regime of permitting, we never once had a permit rejected. So it was a costly formality that protected neither the economy nor the environment. It was a lot of work, but it didn't really change a lot. This is fundamentally different for us. As always, with advancements in the economy and the environment, technology played a big role. Going back a number of years, we co-developed a biofilter with the help of with the state of Wisconsin and with an academic researcher. And this biofilter essentially works the way it does when they put microorganisms into oil spills. The bugs go in and eat the pollution. In our case, it's behind here, and 85% of the VOCs are filtered out, making this one of the cleanest screen printing facilities on the planet, if not the cleanest. Another technological goal of the company was getting away from solvent-based inks altogether and moving to UV-based inks. Now, when we started this process, and as everybody in the room who works here can tell you, UV inks were a long way away from being able to hit our industrial specifications. We would have loved to use them, they just didn't work. So one of our key things over the last 10 or 20 years has been getting those UV inks that are much more friendly to the environment to where they can actually meet our customer specifications. And now we're almost all the way there. There's still some things that don't work, but they've come a long, long way. And that's really another part of the reason why our VOCs have dropped so much. What's our goal for VOC emissions going forward? None. We're aiming for zero. This process, many of you have been involved with this much longer than I have. I feel a little bit like those Packer players who got Super Bowl rings for standing on the injured reserve all year. I came in just in time for the victory celebration. But they say timing is everything, so I'm happy to continue. It took 6 years of persistent negotiations on the part of our company, mainly Nick Liefeld, Cheryl Westlager, Scott Wolf, and Tom Raven before he retired. And the DNR, and in particular we wanted to call out Mark McDermott and Kristen Hart to craft the contract between Serigraph and the federal EPA. Together, we're breaking new regulatory ground. It wasn't easy. It was frustrating at times. From what I understand, it was frustrating most of the time. but it was worth it. We hope that our mutual efforts will create a new template for both our industry and other industrial clusters. Thank you all for your hard work. I'd also like to just take a couple more seconds to thank my father, John Turinas, who was really the driving force for this at Serigraph. This was his baby, and in a lot of ways, this is really his day. As you look around, I just want to draw attention to a couple other things. Serigraph does a lot of other best environmental practices, and the evidence of them is all around you. As you drove in, you probably saw our prairie. That's, as much as we can, fully restored to original prairie status with native species. Takes on different colors and characters with every change of season. Our little pond to the left of you actually serves as a sediment filter, making sure all of our water outflows to the nearby Milwaukee River are clean. We cut our water usage in half over this period, saving close to 2 million gallons of water every year. We recycle 97% of our solid wastes, and we're on interruptible power, which eases the strain on the power grid in times of peak demand. Our environmental management practices, in addition to Green Tier, have earned us ISO 14000 status, and you may have seen the flag as you drove in. So, at Serigraph, we don't look at protecting the environment as something we must do because of regulations. It's something central to the way we do business, and evidence of that commitment is all around you. In conclusion, I'd like to thank all of you who worked so hard on this. Green Tier 2 really should be the regulatory basis for a lot of industries going forward, and at least the philosophy of collaboration should drive our frameworks going forward. In addition to all the people that we've thanked from both the DNR and the specific people at Serigraph, I would like to thank everybody at Serigraph, all the co-workers, because without your commitment, our environmental practices and our commitment to the environment would just be words on paper. You're the ones who live it and drive it every day, and we couldn't do it without all of you. So thank you very much. Thank you all for coming.
And go. All right. I haven't done it like this before. No, no days.